Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. Been a while since I've actually done one of these. Let's talk about Xander and Kristen. Now, I guess from man to man, and someone who has been in love before, I can see Xander going through the ends of the earth to do anything for Sarah. Okay? But there are certain things that I feel would be crossing the line and something that your partner wouldn't be okay with. So Xander comes in and tries to lie to Kristen about the whole um Sarah retracting her story. Like, hey, listen, my girl, my wife did that, so we can have a cure now, right? But when Kristen pretty much calls his bluff after taking the phone from her, he cops up to it. And it's like, listen, we tried, but EJ, it was a no go with him. And when Kristen offers an alternative as far as going to the press, going to Paulina, trying to put pressure on him to, release Brady, Xander's like, I can't do that. Because if we do that, then Sarah will be charged with perjury and we'll be screwed still. So he's like, listen, we tried. We held up our end of the bargain, but EJ wouldn't budge. Could you sit there and help us? Could you help Sarah walk again? And you can see the look on Kristen's face. Kristen has done some despicable stuff before, right? But she's not this heartless monster that people try to make her out to be. You can see it in her eyes that she does have sympathy, but she sticks to her guns. She's like, listen, a deal's a deal. And until Brady's able to get, released, she doesn't get that cure. And this is when Xander crosses the line by threatening to kidnap Rachel. And I'm like, one, this is crossing the line. Two, this is not something that Sarah will want. As much as she wants to sit there and reuse her legs again, she wouldn't do it at the expense of even threatening a child. So, Krista makes it very clear if you even look at her the wrong way, you will never get this cure. And it backswells Xander, and he walks away. Um, and while she does feel bad, she's like, yo, listen, at the end of the day, I have a child too. And that child needs his father, needs her father. So she sticks to it. But there is a hint of regret. She doesn't enjoy doing that. Now, Eric comes over, and Eric tells Sarah some news after asking and somewhat accusing her of lying to cover up for Fiona, that she was the hit and run driver. So you talk about it, and she learns a couple of things. That she was actually with Brady the night of the accident. She may or may not have been drinking, but she was lying about a lot of stuff. Um, and she does sit there, and he does sit there and ask, well, I heard y'all talking about some secret. And Sarah doesn't say what the secret is, but she's like, it's not about me covering for her. So with that being said, he walks away, and Sarah, I guess, maybe she was going upstairs or whatever, started thinking about a lot of the stuff that Eric was there saying, like, no, there was no way that, she was there and that she was drinking or anything like that. And then she finally remembers that Fiona was the one that was behind the wheel. And of course, she turns around, Fiona's like right there, like the damn boogeyman. Now, Fiona is with Sophia. You already kind of know where this part is going. They just generally talk about Sophia and her stupid love life and all the BS that's going on with her. But it gets to a point where Fiona threatens her. She's like, no one can know that I was drinking. No one. Now, there was a better way than her being all like serial killer vibes, bitchy attitude, grabbing her arm and everything like that to try to get her, to silence her and threatens her. And part of me just kind of looks at it, and it's almost laughable when you stop to think about it. I get it, she's a teenager. But she doesn't seem like a pushover, right? And you're telling me that you're going to allow this woman that's like in her upper 70s to practically bully you into silence. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but there's something that's just like, really? You're scared of somebody that, let's be honest, as beautiful as she looks. You can practically do this, and she'll fall over and practically break her hip. But this is the woman that you're worried about. I get it. This is a world where you got Steve and John Smith. They're playing superheroes in their mid 70s and taking on guys half their age and probably half their size. So, okay, but aesthetically, looks kind of stupid. Um, Now this whole story with Holly, talking to Maggie and Maggie being like, listen, just give her a chance, just let her explain her side. There was no other way to do this. And it's unfortunate because of the background drama that wound up happening between the actress that played Nicole, the law guy, the studio, and everything like that. We got to get a scene where she has this conversation off screen, and then she goes back and she talks to Maggie, and she's like, "Yeah, it went good and everything, but it's going to take some time." And she's not even staying with her. Her mom actually gave her a hotel. I was like, um, I don't remember her mom actually being rich. I know she works for Basic Black, but does she still work for Basic Black, by the way? The reason that they're in the foreigner hotel. I know, it's little details, but I can't ignore that shit. Like I can't. But at some point she does run into fake Abigail talking to Mark. Now let's talk about Mark. Let's talk about Fabigail, Fabi, and Chad. She proposes marriage. She's like, let's marry before we sit there and start doing the deed and everything. And Chad is like, I want to do this with our kids. But she convinces him, let's do this. Maybe I'll get my memories back and everything like that. And he agrees. And I've seen the comments. And I've said this before, and I guess it bears repeating. People are saying that Chad is being stupid. There's a lot of red flags. He's just being dumb and naive and weak and everything else. But let me ask you a question. If the person that you love more than life get brutally murders and everything, and their kids is without a mother or father, and somehow they come back, how much are you really going to sit there and question that? Yes, the logical side is that they're telling you there's something not right, the face, her attitude, whatever. There's red flags everywhere. But when you are that deep in your emotions with that person, how much of that stuff do you ignore? I mean, you look at it every day when you sit there and see people in bad relationships. You're just like, come on, that dude is horrible for you. What is wrong with you? And how often do people sit there and choose their hearts over things that you're just looking like this doesn't make any sense? And we always sit there and say to these people, man, you're desperate, you're stupid, and everything like that. And I can see that. And it doesn't make it right. But you're not in that person's you're not in that person relationship. You're not in that person's feelings. You don't understand that emotional connection to that other person. So when we always sit there and look at people fighting and stuff like that, and we're like, you can do better and everything. Yeah, you probably could do better. But you're in that emotional state where you're not really thinking too clear. Um. Anyway, he gives her some money, tells her to go out and buy a dress, and she does. And then she calls Mark to sit there and say, she made progress and stuff. Um, They talk to Maggie. She finds out that they broke up. She also finds out that that Holly was in there snooping through Brady's room to look for evidence and everything. And Maggie's just like, wow, this is crazy. And she slaps Sophia. I mean, was she provoked? And then she asks Tate, okay, so you know that this woman, that this girl likes you. How do you feel about her? He doesn't say anything. Um, I don't know if Tate is just. I know he's a teenager, so I know a lot of things don't always make sense when you're a teenager. But sometimes you gotta sit there and wonder: is it just stupidity? Is just an ego boost, or is he just really this naive as far as what is he doing with her? Because as y'all know, I don't like Sophia. There's so many reasons that I could just make an entirely other video. And as much as I don't like her, and let's be very clear, I don't like her. And to find out that she's on contract, so we're kind of stuck with this chick is. But nobody deserves what Tate may be doing to her. Because she wants a relationship. And every time he's around her, and she talks about him and liking him and everything like that, dude, if you don't feel the same way, you need to be honest. So when he does sit there and talk to her and everything, and she's all super fake and stuff, it's just one of those things where it's like, if you don't want to be with her or you don't feel the same way for her, then don't sit there and string her along because that's literally what you wind up doing. Now she does her usual fake crap of, oh yeah, I feel bad for Holly, and we're still friends just because we like the same guy, and it's like it's just she's so full of shit that it's very aggravating to sit there and even hear the sound of her voice. That has anything to do with the actress, but just the fakeness and the lies and everything that she says is just like maybe just also because I grew up with girls in high school that was just like that, and I had you know what? I'm not even gonna go there. But my point is that it's just very difficult hearing any sort of dialogue. Now, my only hope is with her being on contract is that we don't just find out, we don't just get the mean girl, the surface level BS. But like, why is she like that? Why is she the way that she is? Because a lot of times girls like that who act like that don't just do it just because. There's usually a reason why, and hopefully we can kind of get more into her character and she doesn't just be this fake annoying girl that every time that we see it I roll my eyes with. Anyway, I feel like that's about it for the most part. I can't think of too many other things, but if I miss anything, write it in the comment section below. Share the video if you can, because this is the type of stuff that does also help. I love doing these Days of Our Lives reviews, and it was one of those episodes it was like, I really wanted to talk about it. Yes, I'm going to talk about more on the stream, but there's certain times I like to just make a video, give my impression of it, and, you know, talk about it in the comment section. So definitely keep this going by sharing the videos. Anyway, I'm gonna do a live stream tonight, just talking about this some more, anything I forgot. So hopefully I'll see you in the comment section and hopefully I'll see you tonight.